seconds. This is Bellator MMA. May 2019, Lima took it round number 2.
In the world of combat sports, confidence is the key. However, sometimes that confidence morphs into arrogance. And that's when things start to get interesting. In this video, we will explore moments when arrogant fighters picked the wrong opponents and had to pay a steep price for their attitude. Let's start with the heated duel between James Gallagher and Ricky Bandas. Just moments before the fight began, Gallagher approached his opponent. With an air of arrogance, he raised both hands and hurled taunts while laughing directly in Ricky Bandas' face.
We are back in 60 seconds. This is Bellator MMA live.
This gesture, showing a lack of respect for his opponent, mirrored Gallagher's behavior during the pre-fight press conference. However, when the fight began, it turned out that Gallagher was not nearly as formidable as his cocky demeanor suggested. He was repeatedly knocked down by Bandas with ease.
A moment ago, you talked about the young guns and the young superstars, sporting the red gloves, Bandas in the blue gloves.
In the end, victory went to the very person Gallagher had dismissed as weak. Bandas, in turn, mocked Gallagher by shouting taunts right in his face, delivering a satisfying payback for the earlier disrespect.
Just took another right hand. He's in trouble. Gallagher's rocked. Bandas looking for the finish. It is all over. Ricky.
That kind of arrogance was also displayed by Michael Page. During a photo session ahead of his fight against Douglas Lima at Bellator 221, Page raised both his hands in a show of bravado in front of
Lima took it round number 2, 35 seconds in by knockout. And now
However, once inside the cage, it was Lima's turn to humiliate Page. He delivered a powerful leg kick that threw the fighter, known as MVP, off balance. And when Page hit the ground, Lima mercilessly finished him off with a series of hammer punches, cementing his dominance in the match.
Quite at 100%. Oh, and there what a shot by Lima! Mamma mia!
Now, let's shift to the women's division, where we find Taylor Starling, an MMA fighter known for her bold personality and arrogant demeanor. Taylor's arrogance was on full display in her fight against Ferea for the women's flyweight title at BKFC 28. Not only did she show off inside the ring, but even outside of it, she attempted to snatch her opponent's championship belt in a brazen act of disrespect. However, in the fight itself, Ferea gave the boastful fighter a lesson in humility. Both fighters started cautiously, and Taylor even managed to push Ferea back with a hard punch early on.
Black for Taylor Starling. Overhand right from Taylor Starling. Ooh, right away.
But then, Ferea turned the fight into a relentless assault. She unleashed a flurry of non-stop strikes to Taylor's face, leaving her cornered against the ropes. Taylor appeared overwhelmed and in visible distress, even breaking down in tears and begging her coach to stop the fight.
Into the clinch. Big shots. There's the uppercut. Power on the inside. And down goes.
After a check from the referee, Taylor agreed to continue. But it didn't take long for Ferea to silence her opponent for good. Taylor's pre-fight arrogance culminated in a humiliating defeat, marked by tears and regret.
I could have sworn she said, I can't do it. Big right hand, and now that is the surrender.
Next, we have the fight between Ben Nguyen and Jules Raboud at Nitro 11 MMA. During the pre-fight photo session, Jules went out of his way to bully Ben. Draping a belt over his shoulder, he attempted to intimidate Nguyen. Known as the Jackal, Jules pushed the limits by pressing his left fist against Ben's cheek and even shoving him with his head. But what happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. Ben Nguyen's performance in the match went viral as he defeated Raboud in just 20 seconds. the heavily tattooed fighter was left to regret his earlier arrogance in what became a swift and humbling moment for him. Disrespecting an opponent was also evident in the fight between Claudio Morero and Jesus Rojas. When the two squared off before the match, Morero's expressions exuded an air of disrespect toward his opponent. During the fight, Morero continued to display his lack of regard for Rojas. This was clear from his gestures, signaling his dismissal of Rojas as a credible threat.
Wow, qué velocidad de Morero.
Sí. Realmente.
At times, Morero seemed to toy with his opponent, as if he believed Rojas was too weak to pose any real challenge, or perhaps that he himself was simply too strong to be defeated.
Sí, yo me parece que era uno de los mejores.
Definitivamente, gran peleador.
The situation worsened when Morero, backed into a corner, once again showed his contempt with actions that angered the audience. His arrogance and lack of focus led him to a critical mistake, leaving an opening in his defense. Rojas seized the opportunity, landing a powerful punch that sent the overconfident Morero crashing to the canvas.
Llama la atención que el referee no lo ha advertido, porque lo primero que lanza...
The most embarrassing moment in this video might belong to Spike Carlyle. During his fight against Billy Quarantillo, Carlyle appeared to dominate, landing punch after punch that eventually sent Billy to the ground. Believing he had secured the victory, Carlyle turned his back and puffed out his chest, confidently assuming his triumph. But to his shock, Billy quickly got back up and delivered a powerful punch to Carlyle's left cheek.
Get him out of the first round, he's not the same guy. Well, we're gonna find out.
Postures up.
Finally, let's move to the world of boxing. In the match between Jermaine Taylor and Arthur Abraham, Taylor exuded arrogance throughout. Confident in his superiority over his opponent, he fought the entire bout with a smug expression and an air of overconfidence.
And every one of those right hands is from the side.
However, in the final moments of the fight, Abraham turned the tables with a devastatingly powerful punch. The blow sent Taylor crashing onto the canvas, delivering a dramatic and humbling end to his cocky demeanor. Then there's Patrick E. Pitbull, who became a victim of his own arrogance during his fight against Michael Chandler. Before the match began, Pitbull taunted his opponent with mocking gestures and words. However, once the referee signaled the start of the fight, it was Chandler who dominated the bout. The 37-year-old fighter delivered a form of poetic justice, a powerful punch that landed squarely on Pitbull's face, serving him a dose of well-deserved karma.